These poems are dedicated to all those whose lives have been spent in bringing peace to this planet. Wherever you are, I bow my head. May peace be on this earth. We are all united with the thread of love. May each one of us realize the garland of life.
Flight of the Albatross. If there's a Superman among birds, it would be the albatross. Its wingspan is over 10 feet. Albatross are masters of soaring flight, able to glide over vast tracts of the ocean without flapping their wings. So fully have they adapted to the oceanic existence that they spend the first 6 or more years of their long lives without ever touching land. They were born to soar. Imagine this huge bird takes an incredible amount of energy to take off. Yet once in the air, it seems like they are light as a feather. A wandering albatross can soar 500 miles in a day and maintain speeds of nearly 80 miles per hour for 8 hours without even flapping its wings. This ability has long fascinated engineers who are keen to mimic the albatross's flying abilities with aircraft. They can go years without touching land. Touching down in the ocean puts them at risk of sharks, so they touch down only briefly to feed. They can smell food in the water from 10, 12 miles away. All albatrosses are long-lived birds who can survive for many decades. In fact, some live well beyond their 50th birthday. The best-known example comes from a Malaysian albatross named Wisdom, who was first banded by scientists in 1956 at Midway Atoll. Wisdom continued returning to Midway for more than half a century, raising some 3 dozen chicks. When she was last seen in late 2018, Wisdom was 68 years old, making her the oldest known banded bird in the world. She was also a mother yet again, making her one of the oldest known breeding birds. That chick hatched in early 2019. Wow, in my eyes, this is the Superman of a bird. Reciprocity. The definition of reciprocity is as follows: the quality or state of being reciprocal, mutual dependence, action or influence, a mutual exchange of privileges. Specifically, a recognition by one of 2 countries or institutions of the validity of licenses or privileges granted by the other. In other words, this is the law of giving and receiving. The more you give, the more you receive. The more you receive, the more you give. This is a universal law. We are dependent upon life itself. We couldn't live 1 second without it. The essence of life is kindness, love, patience, and tolerance. A wise man understands this. He knows there's an infinite well within. One becomes intoxicated by these living waters and shares the kindness to the world. If each one of us did this, the kingdom of heaven would manifest on earth. The wise man says it's a divine privilege, yet the operating system, hardware, and software has always existed inside of you. You just have to turn on the computer. This is an ancient riddle. Hopefully, you might ponder on these words. They could totally transform your life. What are your trigger points? What are your trigger points? We all have them. It's when some event happens and we play the same song over and over again. Mind you, it's not a great song. Our subconscious simply says, I know this event. It goes to the database and selects the song, and you react accordingly. You don't even have time to think about it. You just simply react. Even if you are aware of your trigger, this happens. Carl Jung said to face your dark shadows is the most difficult and yet rewarding thing you can do. In effect, you are shining a light on the dark past. You are transforming from darkness to light. It takes around 21 days for a habit to be established. You are rewiring your neural circuits. For over 100,000 years, the Aboriginals have used fire and storytelling to program the subconscious. They start when a baby is born. The parents or grandparents place their hands near the fire and warm them up. They then place their hands on different body parts and tell an uplifting story. This is NLP at its finest. The warmth of the hands create a tactile feeling along with the kind words. They program love, kindness, patience, tolerance, and myriad of positive emotions into the subconscious. Even way back then, they knew how to program life. We are still learning. The Western world has a lot to learn on this subject. What are your trigger points? Just look at the chaos in this world, and you will see the results of trigger points. A wise man just smiles at life. He has nothing to prove. Edmundo left us Monday morning. I just saw this Facebook post from Katharina. She said that Mundo left us Monday morning. Her story of his passing was so heartwarming. I haven't seen Edmundo in many years. I mean, many years. I always remember him being kind. Being kind is one of the highest honors in my life. He was definitely kind in his being and actions. He loved to meditate where the infinite well of kindness exists. He drank from that well daily. We must all die someday. Reading the beautiful story, I hope to die someday in this fashion. His beautiful wife, Katharina, holding his precious hand. The kids are home seeing their dad for the last time. What an incredible send-off. The Lord himself probably shed a few tears. We are here to celebrate life. Our dear friend Edmundo is in another room in the mansion of life. What an incredible journey he had. We all have our ups and downs. In my eyes, Edmundo rose to the occasion, and sweet kindness came from within. Even when death called him, he passed away silently into the night. My love goes out to his precious family. His spirit lives in our hearts. There, it will never leave. Yes, we will miss him, yet inside of us lies that shining face. Death is only shedding our old clothes and returning home. Love you, Edmundo. We shall meet again. Him. This is a hymn to all. May we all someday be on the same page, kindness for all. May we all be patient and tolerant with each other. May decency and dignity rise within us. May every child have decent food and water to drink. May every child in the world be educated. May we lift the world out of poverty. May the governments put people first, not corporations. May we all practice any religion without any judgments. May we see the unity of all in body, mind, and soul. May the light shine upon this land. May we discover our true nature. May we help one another. May we love one another. May peace be on earth. May our warring ways cease to exist and never come back again. May we recognize our ancestors never leave us. May we realize that we are never alone, even during our darkest times. May we discover true discrimination. May we make the right decisions for our children. May we have everlasting peace with our world neighbors. May we use kindness to dissolve any conflicts. May we be truly in a state of happiness and joy. May we uplift each other. May we learn from our mistakes. May we be in harmony with each other. Amen. Is the weight of the world on your shoulders? Is the weight of the world on your shoulders? Is your mind only focused on the problems of today? Do you enjoy mocking people who have different points of view? Are you sarcastic with the left wing or the right wing of the great eagle? The mind loves to judge others, so does it have to look within? Point the finger towards others. You have 4 fingers pointing back towards oneself. The worldly problems love to tie us into a knot. It's spinning its sinister web around us. It makes us feel hopeless. It sucks our strength within us. We then are in a survival mode. In that state, we lose clarity. Our mind has shady vision. Truth becomes fiction. Fiction becomes the truth. On the other side of the coin, kindness brings peace of mind. Kindness brings clarity to any given situation. Even if death stares at you, kindness will take you home. We all must die. That is the facts of life. Yet we can consciously choose our state of mind. Ponder this over. I say this a lot, but truly think it over. What burdens do you carry on your shoulders? Maybe, just maybe, it's time to get rid of the boulders. Life is not an arduous journey. What is an arduous journey? Adjective, required great exertion. Laborious, difficult. An arduous undertaking requiring or using much energy and vigor. Strenuous, making an arduous effort, hard to climb. Steep, an arduous path up the hill, hard to endure, full of hardships, severe and arduous winter. Many people think the path within is an arduous journey. I have to give up so much. That's true, but it is not what you think. You have to give up your hardships. You have to give up blaming other people for your problems. You have to give up your anger and hatred. You have to give up your struggles in life. You have to give up your constant complaining. You have to give up your constant judgment of others. You have to give up your apathy. You have to give up swimming upstream in the river of life. You have to give up trying to defend your point of view. You have to give up always trying to be right. You have to give up always having the last words in a disagreement. Sounds like a great thing to do. Ponder this over. What can you do to lessen your journey in life? Listening. The definition of listening is as follows: to pay attention to sound, listen to music, to hear something with thoughtful attention, give consideration, listen to a plea, to be alert to catch an unexpected sound, listen for his step. Here's what the Dalai Lama says about this subject. When you talk, you're only repeating what you already know. But if you listen, you may learn something new. As a society in general, it's all about talk. Nobody is truly listening to each other. Look at current day politics. The louder and more a person puts gasoline on the fire, the less the person listens to the other party. True communication cannot take place. Words are used as weapons instead of bridging the gap between us. If we want the left wing and right wing of the glorious eagle to fly, we must listen to one another. I have friends who truly get a kick of mocking the other side. They truly enjoy it. They take delight in it. Yet their actions are pulling America down the drain. We will always have disagreements in life. That's the nature of life. Yet we can have compassion and tolerance towards another person's point of view. If we aren't kind towards each other, someday America won't survive. Hatred will never bring a country to express its highest values. Yet currently, we have blinders on our eyes. We think we are justified in mocking people and putting them down. This is becoming the norm in politics today. We only vote along the party lines, not voting by conscience. Look at the riot at the Capitol building. Need I say more? If the other side did this, the same feeling would arise. What an atrocity. Yet, when our own party is responsible, we vote along the party line. If we don't listen to each other soon, the situation will get worse, my friend. What a wondrous body we have. What a wondrous body we have, for you're all custom made. Just think, identical twins only have no more than 5% identical genes. Each one of us has a unique operating system. Each one of us has custom-made hardware and software. We are built in the image of the universe. We are all holograms. A hologram is an individual piece, yet it contains the universe. We are texting on the freeway of life and ignoring the miracles of being alive. Pay attention to the signals in your body. It is your best friend. If you ignore it and have an unhealthy lifestyle, you will pay the consequences. The body will tell you what it wants and needs. If you don't give it rest when it needs it, the body will someday force you to rest, whether you like it or not. Remember, this is the only body you get this time around in the journey of life. I'm amazed at the lack of preventative medicine that exists in our society today. Millions try to have a healthy lifestyle, while the majority are totally unconscious. We expect Western medicine to cure us, while we can simply go on our ignorant ways. This pill is going to heal me, yet it could be the cause of my death. Our medicines today take away the symptoms, yet don't go to the root cause. Just think, a medicine today must have a side effect, otherwise it is not classified as a medicine. Big Pharma wants to make big money. Even some of the city CEOs say that's our goal. Curing you is not their goal. If they cure you, then they have lost the paying customer. Ponder this over. Are you listening to your body's needs? True strength, too. Well, I fixed 2 out of 3 of my problems. 1 more to go. Yippee! The next one has been a challenge. This should have taken only 5 minutes. I've been at it for hours. I researched this and found around 25 so-called solutions to my problem. Unfortunately, none of them work. Just think, for the same functionality of a piece of software over time, there are different versions of it. Each version has its own twists and turns. So over 10 years, probably around 5 years, they become obsolete. Fortune 500 companies spend billions trying to maintain their software. It seems like when a project goes into production, software is already obsolete. This causes tremendous stress on the human. The problem gets compounded every year. Our software programs are held together by matchsticks. Any small modification can tear the whole system down. Now, I'm writing a super easy program. I often wonder, the software that drives our grid system, how fragile that is. Sometimes, in the name of progress, we make it so complicated. Granted, there's a Google search to find out how to solve the problem. We didn't have that when I first started coding. You had to go to a bookstore. I bought a lot of textbooks this way. This makes our lives extremely stressful. Mind you, this is just one aspect of life. Remember in the good old days getting caught in the traffic jam? Once this pandemic passes, we will soon be caught in the web of driving to and fro for work. True strength, too. Well, I fixed 2 out of 3 of my problems. 1 more to go. Yippee! The next one has been a challenge. This should have taken only 5 minutes. I've been at it for hours. I researched this and found around 25 so-called solutions to my problem. Unfortunately, none of them work. Just think, for the same functionality of a piece of software over time, there are different versions of it. Each version has its own twists and turns. So over 10 years, probably around 5 years, they become obsolete. Fortune 500 companies spend billions trying to maintain their software. It seems like when a project goes into production, software is already obsolete. This causes tremendous stress on the human. The problem gets compounded every year. Our software programs are held together by matchsticks. Any small modification can tear the whole system down. Now, I'm writing a super easy program. I often wonder, the software that drives our grid system, how fragile that is. Sometimes, in the name of progress, we make it so complicated. Granted, there's a Google search to find out how to solve the problem. We didn't have that when I first started coding. You had to go to a bookstore. I bought a lot of textbooks this way. This makes our lives extremely stressful. Mind you, this is just one aspect of life. Remember in the good old days getting caught in the traffic jam? Once this pandemic passes, we will soon be caught in the web of driving to and fro for work. True strength. 3. If you've been following this post for a few days, all I can say is, wow, life is incredible. Yesterday, I woke up with a clear mind and restful body. When it was time to play with the computer and solve my computer problem, I was ready. Immediately, I floated the thought to enter into Google to solve my problem. Well, I got the results back and clicked on one. Bingo! I found the answer. I truly believe in synchronicity. It's a lost art. No matter what the problem is, it can be solved. Yes, it takes time. We just have to learn that a clear mind and a restful body are the keys. I remember a dear friend of mine when I was working at Charles Schwab. He was working overtime and was extremely tired. Well, due to being tired, he accidentally deleted a database in production. Fortunately, it got restored quickly. Our society is so stressed out by the demands of working to a point where clarity is lost. Common mistakes lead to serious problems. We must reclaim a balance in life in order to have a life that is in harmony. This would lead to a society. This would lead to a life that society would benefit from. So many people are swimming upstream. If we just turn around and flow with the river of life, many people are unaware that there is even a river, which is a sad thing. These are the tricks of the trade. Hopefully you can learn from them. I bow my head into experiencing and seeing this great wisdom in life. We are never alone. Help is always there. You just have to be in sync with it. Life will throw us curveballs. We can hit the ball out of the park. Even a bunt and reaching first base is better than a strikeout. Ponder this over. It might be the jewel you are looking for.